Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the WYWB Show. This is a live beer review show that we do every Thursday night, 8 p.m. here on YouTube. I'm Daniel. This is Tiffany. That is Phil with a slightly shorter beard, but not as short as mine.
I don't even know who you are anymore. Are you of legal drinking age, sir?
Well, I'm on the internet, so you know I must be of legal age.
Yeah.
And with that koozie, we know you're pretty old.
This is true. This is true.
Yeah.
Were you just tired of being Tiffany's beard?
Oh, hey
Hey-o.
now. Hey now. That's actually what happened. It was a very poorly timed sexual incident, and I had to shave the whole thing off. So things got crazy.
I think what's going to be weird is if I shave my beard, because I think I've had a full beard for this entire series.
True story.
I think you've shaved yours a couple times.
Yeah.
Yeah, Daniel, I think you've had the most looks on this show.
Yeah, it's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
Well, I want to get into this beer tonight. I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, I am too. I brought this one over from Ireland. So
yeah, which is super exciting. It's a foreign beer, sort of.
Yeah. We haven't done a lot of out of country that were actually brought in from out of country.
Yeah, true story.
And I like the little tiny can. We don't do 12 ounces too often.
It's actually a 330 milliliter can. They don't speak in ounces.
Wow, look how tiny it feels.
So
I'm used to that here in St. Martin.
Yeah, I was going to say it bodes well for your other ones. So we are doing Chieftain, which is from Franciscan Brewery, and they are out of Cork, Ireland. And
You ever been to Cork?
No, I have not. But normally we joke about how well you travel and do all of our promo shoots. But are some of these pictures actually going to be yours?
No, I've never. I actually haven't gone to this brewery.
You son of a bitch.
No, Cork. I wasn't in Cork, so I didn't actually get it. But it is a really famous beer in Ireland. So I figured we should do a really famous Irish beer that is brought from Ireland to do on the show.
I think that's fair.
And it's an Irish pale ale. So I don't know if that means it's a what I don't even know what that means.
I'm gonna touch on it a little bit in a later segment.
Okay.
Thank goodness, because I've been sitting here wondering for a week now, what the hell is this beer?
I've been wondering since I bought it. I was like, Irish pale ale? Sure, let's go. I don't know what this means.
Let's fucking roll with it then. Well, why don't you show us what this place actually looks like then? Because I've never been to Cork. Ooh.
I like the picture of the kid eating spaghetti at the bar. That was my favorite.
That one, I lost it when I saw that one.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I think that place looks like exactly like I would have expected it to look like, but in a good way.
Oh, that's 1,000%. I'm right there with you. I was watching it going like, this looks like a place I would just go to so many times.
And complain about shearing my sheep.
Yeah.
Like the actual act of shearing a sheep. That's not a Urban Dictionary thing.
I mean, it probably is. I'm sure
God, you're right. It probably is.
I'm not interested.
Now I've offended Irish people as well as Urban Dictionary people.
And sheep.
Yeah. Well, trust me, I spent a lifetime offending sheep. I love it.
Ridiculous.
So again, this is Chieftain. Should I know how to say that? I feel like
we're all guessing.
Okay.
I don't. I'm going with Chieftain or Chieftain or.
Okay.
I was saying Chieftain.
Okay.
Chieftain.
I'm gonna go Chieftain then, just to round it out.
Okay. Okay.
Do we have any Irish English speakers?
I believe it's Chieftain is what someone is saying. That makes sense.
That makes good sense.
Yeah.
So I'll keep calling it Chieftain, and y'all move on to whatever you think it is. So that way I'm in the right. So Chieftain is what Vero says. So
Chieftain.
Yeah. I'm gonna go. I think that's fair.
Chieftain.
Although, again, could also be right. So we'll do a poll on it later. Oh Lord. Well, then it's time for probably our favorite section of all time, at least our favorite slide. I mean, it's history and facts, and it's my favorite.
I got there.
I know. I got there too soon, and then I had to wait for you to catch up. This is a very familiar situation.
I did see that you could tell that I was doing something else when you started that problem, and I was like, shit. I gotta change.
So for those who are not familiar with the show, this is a portion of the show where we actually play trivia to learn a little bit about the beer and brewery. So let's get into it.
Tonight we're doing Chieftain from Franciscan Well Brewing out of Cork, Ireland. So if you're logged in, make sure you comment along and play with us and let us know what your answers are.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one because it's fun to do a brewery that is from somewhere else, from another country. Like, it's apparently very famous over there, and so it's like we should know about this brewery then.
Well, I hopefully should know about it by the end of this, but I will see.
And just remember, the questions are also, if you're on YouTube, you can actually fill out the questions, and so we can figure out who's right and who is wrong, which is my favorite part.
This is also my favorite part. All right, so the Franciscan Well Brewery and Brew Pub is located in the center of what was the Shandon Friary, dating back to what year? That the brewery, the friary. Okay, just making sure. I didn't want you to think this brewery was from the 1300s or anything crazy. That's outrageous.
Was that a hint?
You take it for whatever it's worth, man. I'm dropping little nuggets here and there, and maybe pick up on it, maybe you don't.
So then is it A? I was going to go with B.
Oh, okay. Go with your gut.
It was between B and D, really. I was like, the 12 seems right.
Yeah, I'm thinking it wants us to go that far back, so I think there's some trickery here. I'm a big fan of trickery, so I'm going with C on this one.
Well, you're an idiot. Sorry, God, I can't avoid it anytime. So we got some B's, some D's, some A's. A because I'm guessing.
We got a tie on our poll on YouTube. B and D are tied with 40% of people thinking it's those two. So Vero is kind of correct over there in the sense that there was two different numbers tied to this location. Some did date back to 1214. Some listed as actually being established in 1219. So I went with the further back one because that was attached to their actual website versus some other information that I found that dated them at 1219. But it was really interesting though, because they had obviously the Franciscan well. There was a well on the property that was located where basically they sit now that people would travel all over from because it was said to have healing powers. So people from all over Ireland would come there and come to this monastery, to this well, to try to heal their woes with this magical water. But it was funny though, because one of them was very specific of degenerative eye diseases, was listed very specifically that this water was known for, that you could wash your face with it and like get it in your eyes, and it was supposed to. So in the 1200s, people were like, God, I don't see well as everyone else. Apparently, they just needed glasses. And then they're like, let me splash this water on my face. I like to think that all their eyes were just dirty.
They wore out. They work all day.
Yeah, they're like, oh, we can see again. It's like, yeah, it's just because you got dust out of your eyes.
You got a full night's sleep and you washed your face. No, but the building itself, the grounds, the property, that does have a really extreme, like, long backstory in regards to being the monastery or the friary. I have a hard time.
I think didn't I also read, Daniel? I'm sure you know this, but because you've been doing some great research about this. But aren't they on top of like a graveyard of some sort?
There's a couple of different ones. So where that building sits is actually thought to be one of the burial grounds of the original monastery. So there is a ghost in the brewery as well. That's pretty well documented. The actual original grave sites, I don't think they know 100% that that's where they were. Because it does date so far back, but it is believed to be because of the ghost that allegedly haunts the brew pub.
I do love a brew pub with a ghost.
I mean, it's like a theater at that point, but with beer. Like, I think a ghost, there's entertainment.
Yeah,
I love it.
Just a bunch of drunk people thinking they're seeing ghosts.
That's my favorite. And again, they got degenerative eye diseases, so they're seeing all kinds of
It's
shit.
actually just the squigglies that end up in your eyes. Oh, you seeing it? It's moving with my eyes.
it's just
There it goes.
Wash my eyes with this stuff.
I want to say that's how Oozlefinch got their name. Was some drunk dude made up a fucking bird.
Thought he saw a big bird on a military base.
That'll do it.
That's it, man.
Oh,
right.
man.
Next question.
I'm ready for it. If y'all are.
Okay.
You tell me. All right. So the Franciscan Breweries collaborated with what other Irish brand to make a beer that won a gold medal at the World Beer Awards in 2015? Was it Guinness, Jameson, Bailey's Irish Cream, or Irish Spring?
You got to prep me for this so I can bring up our Irish Spring commercial, Daniel.
Nope.
No, I just wanted you to imagine it as soon as you heard the word.
I'm bringing it in for next week.
I'm okay with this.
Come back next week and you'll see that amazing commercial.
I'm going with Jameson. Like they'll do like barrel aged things.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with this one as well with you, Tiffany. I think I don't feel like this would be a collaboration that Guinness would do with them. It just seems like a very bizarre thing to me. I don't know why. So I think that they would probably collaborate with a whiskey or something that isn't in their same brand.
Yeah, and I think that's a fair assessment. Although I think it would be cool if they did something with Guinness.
Well,
I mean,
I agree, and we are,
Diageo
and you know, as
Guinness.
yeah,
from our own experience, where we've seen so many breweries now collaborating together.
Yep.
But I don't think that was the case in 2015 as much.
fair. That's fair. So yes, the answer is Jameson, and exactly for that reasons that you guys were talking about. The barrels alone. So they did a barrel aged one stout with Jameson, and then they also did a pale ale version of it as well. So both of those actually won gold medals.
Nice.
In 2015.
That's really cool. When I was in Ireland, I went to the Jameson factory and had a good time.
Nice. Yeah, I bet that'd be a cool one to go to.
Yeah, it was really cool, and it was a really like friendly thing. So I could totally see they have that vibe about them that they would collaborate with another.
Yeah, and I feel like that whiskey brand in general, like that, especially like Irish, is so well known for like camaraderie, like being around other people.
Their marketing,
like
they
that's
got
their
you.
marketing.
No,
Yeah,
their
exactly.
marketing got you. You fell for it.
Yeah, but if you're gonna market that way, you gotta stand behind it.
Maybe. Been putting on Maybelline the whole time. And I'm still not looking like the models.
Maybe it
That's
is
upsetting.
Maybelline. After all,
Yeah.
Everyone in the comments, except for a few, got that one right. The majority won that one. So
well done out there, soldiers.
yeah, they were all on the same page as us. I'm pretty excited because we're on the third question.
Which you know what that means. Let's drink this damn beer.
Yeah, let's open this thing up.
So typically about halfway through trivia, we will open the beer so that we can taste it and get a full round picture of it throughout the rest of trivia so that we don't just give you our gut reaction to our first taste of it. Oh, good. So it wasn't just me, Phil. Good.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I mean, mine's
I opened
traveled.
it perfectly fine.
I did the same thing. I was
The
like,
beer's traveled a bit, I want to say.
And again, tonight we're having Chieftain, which is an Irish pale ale from Franciscan Brewery out of Cork, Ireland. And as always, I'll let you do the the deed here.
So far, I know we're not going to talk about the beer yet, but this beer just smells like beer. You know what I mean? Like,
even the color of it just now, when Tiffany poured it out, I was like, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
It just got that, like, it kind of smells like the end of the night at a bar.
Tell me more.
But we'll get into it when we drink it. For now, we've got another question.
Yes, we do. All right, so Chieftain uses Tettinger and Magnum hops. Both of these hops are known for what qualities? Bitterness, aroma, citrus, or all of the above?
All of the above.
You want to take a sip of it first?
Nope.
Okay. I put this one in this one because I figured we'd all be at least taking a sip of the beer when this question came around to see if you could maybe
stick with all the above.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it's. I'll be honest. I don't know much about Tettinger.
Tettinger, yeah, Tettinger.
This one's a hard one for me to even know. But I'm trying to figure out, like, what's the main thing happening in this beer. It's not. Yeah. I'm going to go with aroma on this one. I'm going with B.
For the D. You are highly outnumbered in the old poll section here, my friend.
I am. It's 100% hard D.
Yeah. You always go hard D, and I don't understand why suddenly it actually is a hard D and you're not for it.
Well, to me, here's the problem with this question. They're known for three completely different qualities. Like, you can be known for one quality, you can be known for two, but like you're known for.
They're not stovepiping themselves. They can do what they want.
That's right.
But it's just like so they're known for being hops. Like, that's basically what this question is saying.
No, incorrect. So,
well, then explain it to me, because it is. I assume it's D.
It is D, and I see your thought process there. But yeah, certain hops are going to be known for bringing out different things within the beer makeup, and most of them do have multiple things that. It basically, if you look at like a elemental chart of like a hop, you know how typically on the element chart, it gives you like a quick rundown of like 3 characteristics or whatever. If you look at those little index cards for hops, that's what they're going to give you. So that's what would literally pop up on there. Magnum hop or whatever, bittering agent, citrus aroma, so they can have different things on it, but these two hops are interesting because it is, if you read online about this beer, they kind of list this as Ireland's intro to beer drinkers into IPAs without really being an IPA, which is really where the Irish pale ale comes from. That online, there's some argument on the actual differences, but it's really just going to be in the makeup of the beer. It's going to be less bitter. It's going to be a lower ABV. It's going to look more like a red ale versus a pale ale. Or what we think of as a pale ale or an India pale ale. But that's where those hops come into play, though, because if you don't get a big hop punch like you would out of a regular IPA, but there's still there's still a little bit of bitterness there. You still get a little bit of that citrusy. So,
very cool. And I learned a new name of hop that I will forget the next time it gets brought up on this show.
Well, thanks to Marcus, who's watching from Capstan, because I actually asked him today how to pronounce it because I saw him today and I was like, hey, how do I say that? I'm like, oh, the old Tettinger.
Okay. Thanks, Marcus.
Yeah, thanks for the help, I guess.
Yeah. Otherwise, I could have been out in left field somewhere like normal.
All right. We still got 2 more questions.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Questions to go through.
I don't fuck around. All right. True or false? Franciscan Brewery is one of Ireland's longest established craft breweries.
True. Why'd you capitalize craft?
I was probably
I mean, this isn't the grammar show.
Yeah,
I know. I was
Let's-
simply asking as to maybe he knows something that I don't know.
let's say maybe I was at a brewery while typing these.
Maybe it's a tricky question, and it's actually the movie The Craft, and it's a brewery based off The Craft.
Mm,
Oh God, that was a deep cut.
that is that's
Hey.
a lot.
I've seen trickier questions.
Went a lot of directions on that one, and I'm for it.
Took me a while to get there. Okay, so it's one of the longest established. Craft breweries. The word craft actually is a key point, I feel like, on this one. Right? I mean, because
I know the answer. Don't
I
talk to me.
saying,
I
like,
already answered. I said true, and then I questioned your grammar. So we're good.
I'm gonna go true with this as well, based off can art alone, based off logo, and I think the word craft is, I don't think that one's gonna be. There are other breweries. There are longer established breweries in Ireland for sure. So I think when it comes to a craft brewery, I'm going true on this one as well.
It also says one of, so I mean, you could be including the other breweries.
Yeah.
There's no trickery in this question. It's a true or false question.
Right, and I said true.
Yeah, it is true.
Yeah, 100% of people also said it was true. So no trickery happened here.
No trickery here. Yeah, so they technically were founded in 1995. So they've been around a minute now. And it looks, like I said, now that we got a chance.
Almost as old as you.
Almost. One
Yeah.
day it'll be old enough to drink. But looking at
been around since 1995, that doesn't seem long enough to me now. But I guess it says established in 1998 on the can.
The website says 95.
Maybe. Well, interesting.
Well, come back next week when we find out when they were established.
So far, there seems to be a lot of confusing information.
Well, it's funny because even when I was,
we had to translate the websites.
well, it's when I went to their website, right, just to do a quick rundown on them. I had to put in my birthday, and because they're overseas, I had to put it in different than we do over here.
Yeah, you had to
You
do
go smallest
date.
to biggest.
Right.
Yeah, day,
So
month, year.
I did it like normal, and it was like, sorry, you can't enter. And I was like, the fuck, I can't. It's the internet. I was so mad until I realized, oh, you're an idiot.
He did. We were sitting there, and he was like, oh, this sucks.
Well, let's get to the last question then, which
All
has nothing to do with this beer.
No.
Oh, cool. For those in the YouTube, give me a second, but start the question.
Yes. All right. What is Ireland's top export? Pharmaceutical products, organic chemicals, dairy products, or nuclear reactors?
Based on that song, we could go with dairy products.
What song are you talking about? Oh, Paddy McGinty's Goat. Yes.
Yeah, where he is trying to get milk out of the goat, and it's not happening.
Well, I think he gets the milk, but he finds out it's a boy goat.
I'd play it, but it will cause our video to get a little alarm. We don't have the rights to play it.
So go look it up.
Paddy McGinty's Goat.
Yep.
We played it in that episode where we drank a beer called Paddy McGinty's Goat.
Yes, we did play it. I forgot about that.
And that one has a little mark next to it. So can't do it on this one.
Can't believe
Come
they
on,
found
YouTube.
us. I don't know how, but they found us.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, I think you're right, Tiffany. I think it is dairy products to be, but once again, you know what? I'm going with dairy products, and I think that this is going to be one of those situations where me thinking Daniel is tricking us the whole episode, where he wasn't. He then did it at the very end, and he's going to do a little trickery on me, assuming that I think he's no longer doing trickery.
I mean, because cheese is a big deal. Yeah, Dubliners cheese, that is from Ireland.
That's a real cheese?
Yeah.
Sorry. I eat
fucking delicious.
I eat American cheese.
It's
I think y'all know me.
cheddar, and it is so good. God, I could eat the crap out of that.
So what do you think it is then?
I already said dairy products.
You said dairy, Phil. You're going dairy?
Yeah.
Okay. Chat's all over the place.
The poll has dairy products at 57%.
So everyone is wrong except for me and Vero. And Katie. No, Katie got it as well. Yeah, it is pharmaceutical products, which is, I did not expect that when I was reading about it. I was like,
I'm pretty sure I know that, but I can't disclose my
why
clients.
you know that. Right. So here's the funny part with that question. The only piece of trickery in that question was that they were listed in order from highest. That was the top 4 of their actual exports. So their 4th highest export is nuclear reactors.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a huge jump. So it was like pharmaceutical products were like 47%. That makes up 47% of their exports. Then organic chemicals was like 13%. And by the time it got to nuclear reactors, even though it was number 4, it was like 7%. I was like, whoa.
Oy.
Whoa.
All right. Well, that's the end of that section.
Is it?
It is. That was the last question.
That was the last question. We're
Which
flying through
means-
this show. This is good.
Oh, we're doing great.
Yeah.
So for all of you keeping score out there, make sure that you're keeping track because we will give you nothing at the end of this.
You
will
get
like it.
a round of applause, golf clap style. Good
Yeah,
job
because
out
we
there.
are mic'd up, not marked up. That's different.
Yeah, I hate when Mark marks me up.
Ugh, it's the worst.
Ugh, jeez.
What are we doing
All right.
next? We review it next.
Is that what we do?
I think
Yeah,
so.
let's drink this beer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cleaned it. So
there
it
it
shouldn't
is.
be dirty. Oh, sorry. So this is the portion of the show where we're going to review the beer. We do that through Untappd. Make sure you follow along with us on our show Untappd to keep track of all our beers. Tonight we're doing Francis. It was on the top of the rim when I
Okay.
spun it.
Good.
We're doing Chieftain from Franciscan Brewery out of Cork, Ireland.
Drew.
True story.
Yeah. It's good.
Yeah, I'm digging this beer a lot. I think it's just got that like classic beer smell and taste. And I don't know. Well, when we I don't know who wants to go first, but I mean, just talking about it right away is just like,
Yeah.
this beer is right up my alley. I can already tell.
I would say the malt profile, because it is, well, one, it's a darker beer, so it usually, like if it is darker, usually has a stronger malt profile. But this one really does taste like, I don't know, it's like this weird mix for me of an Irish red with an IPA, slightly more on the IPA side, but
Yeah.
it is definitely got that like smooth, easy, malty flavor that does bring out that beer, just traditional beer flavor, while still having the interesting portion of the IPA that is slightly bitter. It's got that like citrus kind of kick. It just isn't like it's not a punch you in the face, which I like. I'm going to give this one a 4.
Cool. Which is out of 5 bottle caps.
Yep.
I don't think I mentioned that earlier. Sorry.
I haven't had a lot of Irish pale ale, so I don't know what to compare this to. But yeah, Tiffany, I think you hit it exactly. It's like that Irish red, but the bitterness of the IPA. It's very confusing in that aspect, and I really enjoy it. And I like that the sweetness to it cuts the bitterness, but then not fully, so you're still getting that bitter. Yep. And I'm just such a big like red ale, amber ale type person. So like for me, this is like a wonderful mix of those two. Exactly. I'm gonna give this just I'm going to the 4.25 on this one because it really hits, it's what I like. So I'm very happy with this one.
Yeah.
It does have a creamy malty. I don't know what an ostrich stout is. Should I know that?
Oh,
You know everything.
we gotta find out.
Oh,
You had to
Irish.
say Irish. Of course, he didn't type ostrich.
I was like, God, like, I'm learning all these new things.
I love that we just assume that was something.
Well, it came
in
from
this beer
Marcus.
world.
And
Marcus.
Marcus
so.
is extremely beer savvy. I mean, he's a brewer and very good at it. So I assume he knows a lot more than I do.
That he's had an ostrich pale ale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's- You,
That's
you
our
take
next
an
collab.
ostrich egg and you actually add it to the brewing process. So it's kind of like oyster stouts, but it's ostrich eggs.
Yes, I'm fine with this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with Vero on this one. It's an ESB IPA mix. It's
Yeah, it's it's really interesting because I like the beer. It's fantastic. It's easy to drink. It's got a little more complication to it than what you would normally expect out of a beer like this, both on the flavor profile, the color, everything. So it's a really good beer. I can't get over the thing that they compared it to, like the gateway to the IPA, like for people who don't drink it, because I disagree with that statement. I think this, if anything, this just makes me want a maltier, like darker red ale. Like I want to go that direction with it.
Yeah, but I think it makes it approachable of like, oh, okay, like this one is slightly more bitter. It does taste a little bit different. Like
it does.
Maybe it's not so bad, and I can try it.
It's not so bad.
Yeah, but I think in what they're saying is like most people who stay away from the IPAs drink more something like this. So they're gonna it's like have what you like, but have a little bit of that like IPA bitterness, and let's come to the side of the beer world.
Yeah, come to the dark side.
Yeah, like you can obviously this makes you want to go the other way because that other way is just so deliciously good and
right.
Everything.
Yeah,
whereas
exactly.
IPAs can be a lot harder to like get to know.
Fair.
Well, after I did dry January, like I still haven't really gone back to IBAs because they are really harsh. I'll drink them, but it's not what I'm going to gravitate towards. It's been much more of like the malty or like lager style, like light beers.
Yep.
So this is for me like the perfect amount of bitterness in a sense that like it's extremely approachable.
Okay.
That is interesting. What was Marcus saying down there about
Irish yeast makes everything taste amazing, but it's expensive as hell.
Huh. I mean, Marcus, if you can go a little bit more into detail, why is it so expensive? I'd be interested whether or not it's just expensive to get shipped over here, or is it expensive in general?
Probably a little bit of both, I would imagine. But I'm going to give the beer a 4 as well.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm going to go with the solid 4. Like I said, it's a great beer.
Yeah. It's going to give it a show score of 4.
Yep.
Which is a great score for this beer, a great score in general. Yeah, I think for me, it just went a little bit above just because I really like the style.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I don't know this style very well. So the can also says grapefruit, which is interesting.
And that's where that IPA comes into play a little bit. I don't get much of that out of it, but I like bitter grapefruity IPAs. So if it doesn't punch me in the face, I probably don't recognize it.
The grapefruit is the citrus for me. That's kind of what I'm picking up.
That's fair. Yeah, maybe I'm just getting it more broad than so specific, but yeah.
Very cool. Classic can, classic beer. Everything about this is just classic.
Yeah, I think it's exactly what I expected out of a long-standing craft brewery in Ireland.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
Well, it just looks like it looks in the same sense of like Sierra Nevada. Like they have very like specific like labels. It looks like a like long time running, going to be distributed kind of can.
Yep.
Which is good.
Yeah. Well, that just went right out.
Well, see you later. This is the part of the show where we leave you with just Phil thinking.
It's going to be the rest of the show, just me going, well, I had something.
Son of a bitch.
I don't know where my brain just went. Somewhere else.
I was waiting. Just in case it came back around.
Welcome to my world. I'm always waiting for my brain to catch up.
Well,
it never makes it.
We got about 10 minutes left, so let's get into some Untappd reviews because I do enjoy those.
Yes. This is a portion that every brewer loves the most. We go into Untappd and see what other people thought of this beer as well to see if we were lining up with them.
3 years later and Tad better.
Oh, I wonder who Tad is.
Yeah.
Spontaneous date night.
With Tad? Luke and Tad are on a date together?
So 3 years later.
Yeah.
Tad's better. I assume they're celebrating 3 years together and they went out on a spontaneous date night and he wasn't talking about the beer at all. It's simply just a check-in where he is talking about what he's doing.
Or is he rating his wife? He's just putting this up as a beer
3.25 stars.
3.25 stars.
And they may not necessarily be married.
Well, she's a tad better. So it used to be 3 bottle caps.
See, I assume that Luke went on a date with Tad 3 years ago and it didn't go well. And 3 years later, he gave Tad another chance, and Tad's better.
A tad, though. Not much. Tad's a tad better.
Nothing special, really, but an easy drinker would have again.
Look at those baby badge numbers. Get out of here, Rusa.
But I think I understand, like, maybe if you haven't drank that many beers and you're kind of wanting something exciting and different and unique, like, and then you get this and you're like, yeah, it's nothing special, but it's like, you don't really understand how special it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think, the craft beer scene in general, it is consistently, what can I do different that's going to like set me apart from everyone? And so when you have a standard beer, like not everyone likes the like standard types of beers, and this one is unique, but I think it's still basic enough that it's extremely approachable, which is why I really enjoy it. But maybe Rusa really just wants those like weird fruited sours.
She wants something crazy.
Yeah.
Her
and William the Fourth.
Yeah. That's a location.
But at least Rusa is like knowing, like, yeah, I'd have this again, because I think this is one of those beers you would just have every now and then. It's like,
yeah, absolutely.
I would 100% have a 6-pack of this in my fridge periodically.
Oh yeah.
Smooth, slightly fruity, but recognizable as an IPA, right?
Yep.
I think that's pretty accurate.
Yep, and that's 3.75.
Yes.
I want to go to Babbity.
I want to go to Babbity Bowster as well. We're heading to the Babbity Bowster. God, it would be amazing. You imagine if I went to the Babbity Bowster in that accent as well? I'd probably get kicked out pretty quick, but.
You want to go to the Babbity Bowster?
Get Babs.
I'll meet you at the Babbity Bowster.
Bring Tad.
Bring Tad.
Bring Tad. He's gotten so much better. He's better. Whenever he's at the Babbity Bowster, Tad is better.
Okay.
That's fantastic. The Babbity Bowster. Remind me just to Google where that is later.
Last Night in Ireland, Last Pub, Dolan's is also a music venue. Coming soon, Pretenders, Craftwork. Chieftain Red IPA is smooth, not too hoppy, and that's how you say cheers, and I'm not going to mispronounce it.
Chieftain Red IPA. Do they have a different version of it over there? They have a red ale that they're also known for.
Oh, interesting.
I assume they're just mislabeling it.
That's a possibility.
Maybe they call it, and sometimes there is a different version.
Perhaps.
Or maybe just from looking at it, he's just saying it's at the red IPA.
Yeah. Or when in the photos you had like the 3 different like tap handles that I assume are like their 3 flagships. One of them was a red ale. Then there was the Friar Weiss, which was a wheat.
Yeah, the Friar Weiss.
And then there was the Irish Pale Ale. So maybe he was just confusing the red and the pale because they were next to each other on that.
And Marcus, I don't know the ABV on it because it's overseas.
I believe it's a 5.5.
Yeah, I was going to say it's got to be light.
Yeah, it's a lighter. I want to say it's a 5.5 if I remember correctly.
Well, they don't have to legally put that on there.
Yeah, they don't have to put it on their can legally. So.
Oh, no, it's on there. Yeah, 5.5. And
there it is.
It doesn't have IBUs.
I mean, I love that it's a 5.5 because it is one you'd want to keep drinking.
Oh, 100%. And it's a darker beer. I always like when you get a low ABV kind of darker beer like this because you don't look like you're drinking a Bud Light. Everybody's like, oh, homeboy can pound dark beers. I'm like, she a $5.
It does have a weird health warning.
I saw it.
So their Department of Health actually sets units per week for men and women and drinking, and it has it in there. So men are able to drink up to or less 17 units per week, women 11 units per week, and this is a 1.5 unit.
Right.
So you could.
So what are we going to do after Tuesday every week? According to their warnings.
I will admit that I had 2 beers last night and woke up feeling shitty. So,
Tiffany was hung over this morning.
To the point where I still feel pretty shitty, but we're here. So
You made it.
I had a headache pretty much all day. I literally went back to sleep until about 10 minutes for my first meeting.
All
And I
right.
was like, it's fine.
We got 5 minutes to wrap up this show, so we're going to do our section. We each get a minute each for this last section. You ready?
Oh, yes. Let's do that.
Let's do it. All right, so this is the portion of the show where we get to talk about something other than just beer. We didn't really go into the beginning of the show talking too much about our days. We'll bring it up now at the end of the show. Give me something that you wish was beer this week that's happened in your life because it would be better, or because the thing was so bad, if it was beer, it would have been better.
Mine's not from this week, but it was a consistent thought in my mind for some reason this week. I wish ice skating were beer.
Oh,
I've been ice skating in fucking forever.
We went
Oh,
ice
weird
skating
thing
on
to bring
our
up in
birthday.
May.
Yeah, I know, but I thought about it because it's because I was passing through the area where the ice skating rink is near us. And I was like, God, I've been ice skating in fucking forever. But if it was
And we could
beer,
go.
I'd be crushing it
Yeah.
We could go.
every night.
We went
You
ice
could-
skating on our first date, though.
We did.
You went ice skating on your first date? That's
Yeah.
risky.
On an outside rink,
Yeah.
too.
Oh, that's adorable. Okay.
No, it wasn't adorable. The
Because we were
ice
both
was
fucking
shit,
competitive as hell.
and I was like, I'm better than you.
And I was
I like
like,
to
no,
think of
sir,
you
look,
both-
I can go backwards too. And
I
it
like to
was,
think of your first date as like going to an actual hockey rink, and Tiffany, you showed up in like full gear. Like Daniel's thinking this is gonna be like a cute date, and you're like ready to fucking play. Like that's the first date I see.
That's pretty close.
Daniel's in white skates, Tiffany's in hockey
I
skates.
showed up like fucking 1990s Michelle Kwan, and Tiffany shows up with like 2 teeth gone.
Well, you've already got the shaped face for it, so
Just true.
so
You
smooth.
should see my legs.
Yeah. I wish scheduling conflicts were beer, because most hours of the day I at least have a double meeting conflict and I got to figure that shit out. If it was beer, I'd have multiple beers every day. It'd be great. And I wouldn't get hungover, in theory.
Fair.
There. Andrew's got one. He wishes commuting was beer. Everyone loves a bar happy hour. No one loves an hour spent driving.
Listen, you picked that job farther away. You don't get to
Well,
complain about it.
No, he's okay.
Daryl wishes that nightmares were beer because it'd be better to suddenly wake up in the middle of the night to find a pint in your hand than dreaming about the CBP detaining you. Not nearly as fun.
Oh,
That one,
no.
I disagree. That one's a fucking blast.
Yeah. Normally I'm getting detained if I have beer in my hand.
Lauren,
Andy says,
Andy.
I wish the aphids and ants on my pepper plants are beer because there's so many of them that I could crush with my fingers. Okay.
Nice. Mine's, let's see if I can show you mine. That looks bad. I'm looking down. Let me see.
Honestly, I wasn't. Phil, if we hadn't talked for a few minutes before the show, I'd have thought, where the fuck is this going?
So this week, my boss handed me this and said I have to take care of it for a week.
Romeo!
So I've been fostering this guy for a week, and I wish my boss had handed me a beer instead. Not that I'm mad about this cute little guy, but taking care of a dog is exhausting.
Yeah.
And if this was beer, I'd just drink it and I'd be gone, and then that'd be great. So if my boss is watching, next time hand me a few beers instead of a dog, please.
Yes, but cute beers, damn it.
I know ones that smell like this too. He smells good. This is Romeo. He is looking for a forever home here in the St. Martin.
So if you're watching in St. Martin,
and he's adorable and sweet and loving. All right, bud. I woke you up. Sorry.
He's very mad about it.
He's not happy about
So
it.
Scott says, I wish relationships are beer, so when they go bad, I can just pour a bad one out and open up a new one.
nice.
Yep.
Scott
That's
put some
fair.
thought into that one this week.
Yeah. All right. Well, everyone, we appreciate you watching the show this week. We are back with a new beer next week. What are we drinking next week? Anyone know? Anyone remember?
I don't remember either. Just pick one off the show.
I believe it's the.
I just saw this and
I'm pretty sure it's the imprint.
That sounds good.
sounds right.
Well, Hold on. Let me just quickly double check to make sure.
Yes, you'll have to go to all of our pages and find out. See what we did there? Let's leave it on a confusing note so people have to go.
We are going with the dark mild.
Mild enthusiasm. Yeah.
Mild enthusiasm from Imprint Beer. It's a dark mild.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited.
I don't think we've really done a dark mild, or at least one that's been specifically said that.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
I'm kind of intrigued by it.
Should be good.
I'm also a little concerned because something up on my shelf has leaked, and I think it's the mild enthusiasm.
Yeah.
So
Put it in a glass. Put it in the fridge.
I'll deal with this right after the show. My hand is... So you guys might be drinking this beer next week.
I'll tell you all about it.
It's not looking good on my end.
Oh, Lord.
So, great.
Speaking of mildly enthusiastically. All right, now.
All right. Well, I appreciate everyone who's came to watch the show. Good to see you, Tiffany and Daniel. Always nice to talk to you. Good to have a beer together. Sometimes I forget that at the end of the day, the show is so that we can all just sit and have a beer.
100%.
And I really enjoyed it. So if you like the show, make sure you share it with your friends. Follow us on social media. If you want to support the show, hit up wishyourbeershow.com. You can buy us a beer or buy some merch. And we really appreciate it. So share, like, subscribe, and then come back next Thursday for a new episode of the Wish You Were Beer Show.
Hey.
Yay!
Thanks, everyone.